welcome to the Week 4 Scoreboard show here on madison.com. Rob Hernandez along with Dennis Semrau. And Dennis, let's get right to it. Let's start in the Southern Badger Conference. The game you were at tonight, Monona Grove wins another showdown, 28-14 over surprising Stoughton in a battle of unbeatens. But on senior night, someone, one of the stars of the game for the Silver Eagles, had something else on his mind. Why don't you explain to our viewers?
James Conner, senior running back, defensive back, turned in a phenomenal performance on senior night. His dad's there, mom's not. She's got cancer, and kind of rough day for him today. Wasn't sure if she's going to make it through the day, and he decided he wanted to be there for his teammates. 2 touchdown runs, but the key 72-yard interception return last play of the first half. Could have broken the backs of Stoughton. They came out and got a touchdown, and they're down by 7 with about 4 minutes to go. A couple of key defensive plays, and Connor was in there at the end, blocking for his running back and his quarterback, and they were able to pull out a 28-14 win. Very emotional night for him and for his coach, Mike Stassi.
All right, elsewhere in the Southern Badger tonight, Fort Atkinson scores all 17 of its points in the second quarter. They hold off Milton 17-7. Madison Edgewood blanks Oregon 33-0. Northern Badger Conference tonight, Dennis. The winning streak goes to 40 games as Will Decora throws for 286 yards and scores 1 touchdown passing the football, another running the football. Wanakee wins the Battle of Warriors 41-0. 40 games in a row for Wanakee.
That's pretty impressive, but you look at Wanakee, Mount Horror, Barneveld, and Reedsburg, all at 4-0 and 2-0 in the conference. The last 3 weeks of the season really will mean something. Wanakee, we're looking at that last game with Wanakee and Mount Horror, Barneveld. But first of all, Reedsburg and Mount Horror, Barneveld have to play, and Reedsburg and Wanakee in Week 6. So there will be a lot of excitement, and that winning streak will be pressed.
They will, and a lot more excitement than we thought there might be in the Northern Badger Conference. Elsewhere in that division tonight, DeForest bounces back from the loss last week at Mount Horror, Barneveld. They beat Sauk Prairie tonight 49-13. And speaking of Mount Horror, Barneveld Vikings tonight, they crushed Baraboo 54-6. The non-conference crossover in the Badger Conference tonight, Reedsburg remains unbeaten, as Dennis said, 24-8 winners tonight over Monroe. Dennis, let's move to the the Big 8 Conference now. And you're upset at Loosier Stadium tonight, where Sun Prairie got a pair of first-half field goals. They jump out to a 6-0 halftime lead, and then hold on for a 13-6 win over Madison La Follette. I like what I'm seeing out of Mike Harris's program over there at La Follette, because they had a tough loss last week to Verona. They come back and give arguably the best team in the league everything they could handle. Yeah,
this goes back to a few years ago. You and I remember when Sun Prairie and La Follette tied for the conference title one year, and that was always a good matchup. A little East Side pride, and if you look at the way Memorial's played West and now La Follette, and East, new coach, they're building, things look good for the city.
Yeah, they sure does. It sure does. Elsewhere tonight, wisconsinprepzone.com game of the week. Middleton holds off Madison West. Speaking of the city, 35-21. Make sure and check out Todd Molesky's highlights and reaction, and of course Nick Sunderland's story here on wisconsinprepzone.com. Also in the Big 8 tonight, Verona holds off Madison Memorial 41-22. Janesville Parker takes care of East 37-6, and Janesville Craig outscores Beloit Memorial 47-28. Capital Conference beginning conference play tonight. In the North, Dennis, our favorite kicker, Lodi's Donnie Mankey, 4 field goals tonight, including, according to the box score, a pair of 47-yarders as the Blue Devils knock off Watertown Luther Prep 40-7. What can you say about that kid? A couple of long-range missiles there flying through the air tonight.
Well, I got to see him play baseball last spring. He's a very good pitcher, and he was told by the college recruiters, you got to lose some weight. We want to see you slim down a little bit. He lost about 25 pounds this summer, added a little bit of muscle, and he looked very good that first day of practice when he was kicking. And I think he's going to have an awesome senior year.
I think so. Elsewhere in the Northern Capital Conference tonight, Lake Mills gets a big win, 28-13 over Poinette, setting up next week's showdown against Lakeside Lutheran. The Warriors knock off Columbus tonight, 59-6. In the South, big news. Belleville's 14-game losing streak is over. The Wildcats knock off Waterloo, 18-14. Elsewhere, Marshall shuts out New Glarus Monticello, 21-0. And Cambridge crushes Wisconsin Heights 54-14. Around the area, Dennis, I was at the key game out in the region tonight where Lancaster on its home field, last year's state runners-up, they look mighty impressive, 49-14 over Platteville. Dennis, the Flying Arrows scored 5 touchdowns on scoring plays of 29 yards or more. Their speed tonight was incredible.
And that's a very good Platteville team. That's a team that started off hot. And we saw Lancaster last year at state. What can you say? That's just an incredible program. Year in year, they just reload.
Yeah, motivated to maybe get back and take care of business after the overtime loss last year in the state finals. And of course, don't look now, but it looks like the Deerfield Demons are for real. Quarterback Brandon Erkey throws for 220 yards, runs for 108. The Demons bounce Partyville tonight, 45-28. They take hold of that large Trailways Conference. Deerfield, all of a sudden, a team to be reckoned with, and not just winning ball games, but they beat Oshkosh Lourdes pretty handily, and now tonight they beat another rival of theirs in the large Trailways pretty convincingly.
Remember the last time they were at state? They had to work their football practices around their play, their musical, or I think it was in the fall. So that's a school that kids do a lot of different things. It's always good to see Deerfield and Jim Brown back.
And finally, tonight in the Northern Rock Valley Conference, East Troy knocks off Jefferson 42-35. That's the Trojans' first win over the Eagles since 2006. And Evansville Albany scores a big win, 22-0 over McFarland. Southern Rock tonight, Mason Dixon, Dennis, 4 more touchdowns. Walworth Bigfoot, a big winner at Orfordville Parkview, 42-6. A lot of huge games tonight. You can see all the scores, all the recaps on wisconsinprepzone.com. Don't forget our wisconsinprepzone.com game of the week tonight, the recap of the West Middleton game, and we'll have this and so much more again next week here. For Dennis Semrau, I'm Rob Hernandez. Thanks for watching the Scoreboard Show. We'll see you at the stadium.